guys! Welcome to my channel and welcome back to the Game Pack Challenge, where I am building a house based around the Outdoor Retreat Game Pack. And this is actually the second part of a build. If you want to see this like structure being built and the garden and everything, I will try to remember to put it in the eye in the corner, but it will definitely be in the description. So if you want to see that, go check it out. And I should have done the roof in the last part, but I forgot to do that. So that's the first thing I did in this part. But we're mainly going to be focusing on the interior of this house. So if this is the first time you are watching a Game Pack Challenge video, first of all, welcome. And second of all, this is a video where I am, it's like a series where I create sims and build houses using almost exclusively the items from a certain game pack or expansion pack. I'm just calling it game pack to sort of generalize it. There are some exceptions though, if there isn't an item in the pack that I do need to use, like a toilet or a shower, or like a refrigerator or a oven or anything like that, I can use the cheapest item that is available, but nothing else. So these rules are supposed to be very strict, but I actually take them more loosely because this series is more about showing off the game pack than making myself feel miserable while building. So like the upstairs area, I wanted to use a fence, and there is it called a fence? No, it's not a fence. Like the gate? Is that the word it's called? I'm not sure. I wanted to use that, but there wasn't any in this game pack. So I tried the cheapest one, but that actually went through the wall. So I used the cheapest one that didn't go through the wall. So I guess I'm sort of cheating here. I cheated with the wallpaper too on the outside. The brick wall I wasn't supposed to use. But I also really want to make a pretty house and also show off the items. So I use a lot of the items from the game pack. Almost exclusively, that's why I say almost. I use some different items. I tried to go for the cheapest when I use different ones, but I also wanted to look pretty. So there aren't any doors in this game pack. So I used the cheapest inside door, which is like the plain white one, which doesn't really bother me at all because I am spinning around like crazy. I'm sorry. It doesn't really bother me at all because that's just, I mean, it's a simple door, but it's fine. So I think the most difficult thing about this entire build was, at least the interior, was the lighting. Because there are a couple of options in the lighting department in the Outdoor Retreat pack, but there aren't many, but I need to use exclusively those. Okay, sorry, I just need to address something. You see me struggling with the counters? Yeah, that's because there's a thing that's called auto counters, and it can be off or on, and then it will like automatically make your counter look good. And I didn't know that, and it was off like probably for weeks. And I've been struggling with counters. Is that a word? Yeah, counters for a really long time now. And apparently that was off. I am amazed at how little I know of The Sims when I have a Sims channel now. And as you can see, this is the cheapest kitchen that you can get because there aren't any kitchen items in the Outdoor Retreat pack. And I'm now working on the lights. There's lots of pretty outside lighting, which is, I mean, I understand why, because it's an Outdoor Retreat pack. So it's very logical that there would be a lot of outdoor lighting, but the inside lighting doesn't really give off much light, and there aren't any ceiling lighting, so that was a struggle. But one of the things that made it a little better is that there is like a plant thing that actually gives it light, and it actually gave like a pretty good amount of light, and then I could use that as a decoration, and it looked like it was just a plant in the house, but it actually gave off some light. So that was useful. So one of the things I'll probably never be able to do is put a television in one of these Game Pack Challenge houses, because the cheapest television is actually a penguin television, which is very cute and very funny, but most of the time it doesn't really fit in the style of the house that I'm making. So that's something that you will probably never find in one of my Game Pack houses. if I was building this without any restrictions, I would have put a television on the wall right there so they could watch television in their little living room. I love that idea, by the way. I stole that. Well, I guess I didn't steal that. I stole that from the house that I grew up in. We had that. Like a second or first floor, I guess, but you could look down into the kitchen. And I just really like that. And I guess our living room was pretty big, but this living room is really small, but it also makes it look very cozy. So I love that. So I had the idea of putting one of the signs outside to make it look like a vacation home and use more items, I guess. But there wasn't really any good place to put it, so I just removed it. And then one of the other things that was pretty difficult was finding a place for the dining table. I moved it somewhere completely differently than that space, but I mean, from the outside it looks like a really big house, but that's mostly because the roofing things are so big. It's actually a really small house. I couldn't decide where to put this dining table for like a really long time. And also, it's a pretty ugly dining table. It's one of those like folding tables that you take when you go camping, so I guess I made it black in an attempt to make it look good, but I guess you don't really see it from a distance. Sorry, that was my zipper. So I also put the light plant thing on the table for just a little bit more lighting in the house. And as you can see, I moved the dining table to the little corner there. I really like that for a place for a dining table. It's a little small and it's a little close to the door, but it fitted nicely, so I kept it there. I also put in some word I can't pronounce on the floor. I talked about this in the last part. And also talked about this in the game pack. No, it's not a game pack, it's hotel build. What am I even talking about? New York hotel build. I talked about not being able to pronounce a certain word. So for the flooring and the wallpaper, there wasn't many options. There was only this wooden floor, which I actually use a lot. I think I use that in most of my houses. I like that. I think that's my favorite wooden floor. And then you have the wooden wall, which sort of was a little too much wood, but it's also like a vacation home in the woods. So I could sort of see there being a lot of wood in the house. Sorry, I just said that word like 200 times and probably didn't even pronounce it correctly. But anyway, I think it looks sort of okay, especially the walls because they are gray and the floor is fine too. So I had a more difficult time in the other houses with the flooring and the wallpaper. And then for the bathroom, I used the cheapest or one of the cheapest walls and flooring because it didn't seem fitting to use this flooring for the bathroom because when it gets wet it probably wouldn't survive very long. And you also just saw me putting in those heart shapes on the wall. I never used those. I don't know, I never really saw them in the game, which is why I like these challenges because it gives me an opportunity to really look at what certain packs bring to the table, I guess. So I'm making the children's room right now. I'm not very good at making children's room. I'm not sure why. They never, like, I want them to look really cute and fun and like I would like to sleep there as an 8-year-old, but honestly, I mostly just fail. So one of the other things that is a struggle with these sort of challenges is actually finding things that gives your Sims fun, especially because I can't use the television because it would look ridiculous. So I mostly use bookshelves, then the cheapest, cheapest desk and computer. There was a guitar in this pack, so that's good. And it actually has a shower in this one and a sink. There's some bathroom items. No toilets though. But normally there aren't really any bathroom items in the packs. At least for as far as I've done this challenge, there are many. And then of course there weren't any lights options, so I chose the cheapest. This is kind of ridiculous. I chose the cheapest wall lamp. I'm not sure why I didn't choose a ceiling lamp. there, but I guess that didn't come to mind or something. If I would do this challenge over again, I would choose a ceiling light or stick with the lighting that comes with the pack. So not cheat, basically. But I placed in these ridiculous like Halloween lanterns, and I mean, it is Halloween, so I guess it's fitting for this time, but any other time, that wouldn't make any sense. Why would you have Halloween lanterns in your bathroom year round? I don't know. I don't know what I was doing. But I guess that sort of wraps up the inside of this build. So I'm just finishing up the little porch areas, or whatever you want to call it. On the outside, I'm putting some grills here, places to eat, and that's really it for this video. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Goodbye!